My beloved child, pause for a moment and allow my voice to wash over your heart with the gentleness of a soft morning rain. For I long to remind you that you are never alone in this world, and I long to envelop you in my infinite love, which knows no boundaries and never falters even in your darkest hour. I see your innermost thoughts, your hushed dreams, and the quiet wishes you have not dared to whisper to anyone else. And I am here to assure you that I have fashioned you with a sacred purpose that will not be diminished by the storms of life. For my call over your life stands firm and unwavering. Do not doubt the depth of my affection, even for a moment, because I have planted within your spirit an immeasurable worth that no earthly power can rob from you, and I will guard you with the strength of my mighty arm. Believe in my promise to guide you onto higher paths that echo with the sound of triumphant grace, and rest in the certainty that I will lead you with wisdom far beyond what human comprehension can fathom, constantly igniting hope within your soul. You may have questioned whether the trials you face mean that I am distant, but I am telling you now that I will never withdraw my presence from you or forget the intricacies of your story, for you remain forever cherished and carefully held in my hand. Stand tall with your heart lifted high, for each breath you take is a testament to my sustaining power and my plan for your future. And you can walk forward with confidence knowing that I, the Almighty, walk beside you every step. Be encouraged today because I see the countless ways you have endeavored to remain faithful in the midst of confusion, and I will reward that perseverance by infusing new strength into your spirit. Turn your gaze away from the fears that nip at the edges of your mind and keep your eyes on me. For when you do, you will realize that my light outshines every darkness and my promise outlasts every doubt. Do not be afraid to come before me with open hands and a heart ready to receive, because in my presence all your burdens can be laid down, and you can step forward with renewed courage. Let these truths echo in your heart and strengthen you, for I am your loving Father, and I will guide you toward a future filled with hope. I know you deeply, more intimately than any friend or companion, because I formed you with my own hands, shaping every aspect of your being in love and wisdom, and I have watched over you from the beginning, treasuring every smile, every tear, and every prayer you have whispered. Even when you felt overlooked by others, or when you endured seasons of life that seemed wrapped in darkness, I was there, holding a lantern of comfort to illuminate your path, providing small glimmers of hope in unexpected places. Today, my message to you is clear. Do not fear the shadows, for they are only temporary shades that fade when my light draws near, and instead, come ever closer to me, where goodness and grace abound. I hear the cries that resonate from the depths of your soul, and I am never deaf to your pleas, because I have promised in my word that whoever calls upon my name will be heard and rescued from the pit of despair. Therefore, lift your voice to me in prayer, letting your words carry the weight of your vulnerabilities, and watch as I turn your mourning into dancing, your loneliness into companionship, and your grief into comfort. Remember at all times that nothing is hidden from my sight, whether it be your most triumphant victory or your smallest anxiety, and trust that I am orchestrating events for a grand purpose even in moments of confusion. Do not assume that I have left you exposed to hardships without a design. Rather, open your heart to the reality that I use all things for good to those who love me, and that includes every twist and turn of your life's journey. Indeed, my child, I am the potter, and you are the clay in my skillful hands, and I am shaping you into a masterpiece that bears my likeness, refining and molding you through each challenge you encounter. Surrender your doubts to me, and I will exchange them for a clarity that sees beyond the limitations of this world. For I am the source of wisdom that transcends your understanding. In every season, know that I will be your constant rock, an unwavering presence in a world that shifts like sand. And I will not fail you nor forsake you, for my covenant with you stands unbreakable. So take courage and let your faith stretch forth like a blossoming vine reaching toward the sun, for even in arid deserts, I can cause fresh springs to burst forth and fill your life with new possibilities and healing. When you feel weak, do not cower in shame or retreat in despair, but instead bring your weariness to me, and I will supply strength beyond measure to help you endure and overcome. There is no mountain too tall or valley too deep for my hand to rescue you, and my grace will always meet you exactly where you are, covering your mistakes, uplifting your heart, and directing your footsteps. Trust in my spirit to guide you through uncharted territory, and rely on my word as a lamp unto your feet, so that your path might be lit with divine guidance that the world cannot extinguish. Indeed, you have been called for a higher purpose, and within you lie seeds of greatness that I placed there, seeds that shall bear much fruit when nurtured by faith, perseverance, and the warmth of my unconditional love. Let me remind you now of your priceless value, an intrinsic worth which reflects my own image. You are my beloved, chosen and set apart for works that reach beyond your imagination, and I delight in every breath you take. Perhaps you cannot see how precious you are from where you stand, but understand that my perspective is eternal, and I see your potential blossoming even in moments when you deem yourself unworthy. Do not let negative voices or the sting of past failures define your present, because I am the one who writes your story, and I have declared it to be one of victory and redemption. You are worth more than any earthly measure, and I have clothed you in dignity and purpose so that you can stand strong against the forces that seek to diminish your light. So hold your head high, for I take great joy in your existence, and every time you lift your eyes toward my grace, I rejoice with an everlasting gladness. My beloved child, I also know the weight of your struggles, for I see the unseen hours in which your soul wrestles with worries about the future, about finances, about family, and about your own sense of identity. You wonder how to keep hope alive when the news around you seems drenched in conflict and despair, and you question whether your small acts of faith can tip the scales toward peace. Let me assure you, I do not merely observe your turmoil from a distance. I walk through the fire with you, shielding you from flames that threaten to consume your spirit, and I send comfort in ways you sometimes fail to perceive. Yes, I witness those quiet tears you shed when no one else is around, and I am right there, offering the solace of my presence that is more powerful than any fleeting comfort this world can provide. Take heart, dear one, and know that I am your caretaker, watching diligently over every chapter of your story, crafting a testimony of my goodness that will shine brightly even in the dark. When the waves of anxiety crash against you and the noise of worry grows deafening, turn your ear toward my whisper, which always speaks peace into chaos and calm into disorder. Resist the urge to fall into despair, my child, for I am the one who parted the seas, halted raging storms, and resurrected hope from the grave, and surely I can silence the roars that rage within your mind. There is no confusion too great for my clarity, and no torment too fierce for my power to subdue. So come unto me with all your cares, and I will hold you with an unwavering grip, ensuring that your spirit remains anchored in my truth. Open your heart to the reality that even in your most desperate prayers, my ears are open and my arms are ready to cradle you with tenderness. Therefore, do not underestimate how deeply I long to bring you relief and renewal, for my love is not timid, nor is my might limited, and I will see you through every trial. Think of yourself as a cherished sheep in my flock, guided by the voice of the Good Shepherd who knows you by name and calls you forth from the wilderness of isolation into the green pastures of belonging. Do not fear that you have wandered too far, because I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to seek out the single lost one. rejoicing more over finding that lone sheep than over all who never strayed. Such is my passion to bring you back home, so do not let guilt or shame keep you away from my presence, for I am the God who forgives, restores, and sets captives free from the chains of condemnation. Indeed, I spread a feast of mercy and grace before you, inviting you to come and dine with me, that you may taste and see that I am good. And whenever you accept my invitation, know that all of heaven rejoices at your return, for your heart was fashioned to dwell in my love. I am your defender, your fortress, and your strong tower, so let your fears crumble at the realization that you are secure in my everlasting arms, where no enemy can snatch you away from my grip. Stand firm on the promise that I fight for you, defying the adversities that rise against you, and I equip you with spiritual armor so you need not battle in your own strength alone. Gently remind your soul that I see the end from the beginning, and I am orchestrating a victory that will unfold in due time, often at the very moment you feel all hope slipping away. When you are weary and feel corners closing in, picture my outstretched hand, beckoning you to keep your eyes on my power to rescue, rather than on the magnitude of the waves. Rest in the knowledge that your security does not hinge on your own ability to endure, but on my unwavering commitment to uphold you. Indeed, I am your shield, and under the shadow of my wings, you can find refuge from the harsh realities that bombard your senses. Let this truth calm your anxious heart, that my presence forms an impenetrable wall around you, and nothing can slip past the boundaries of my sovereign will. Even when adversity strikes, never believe the lie that I have abandoned you, because I walk with you through the flames and sustain you with living waters when you traverse desert places. My dear child, do not lose hope if you cannot see the way out, because I specialize in making a path where there seems to be no path, opening doors that no one can shut, and shutting doors that are not meant for you. Trust that I am aware of every detail, that I watch over your coming and going, and that I have a plan to bring you through safely. Do not fear the challenges that loom on your horizon, nor shrink back from the responsibilities I have entrusted to your care, because I have not left you defenseless. Instead, come to me with boldness and humility, ask for my help, and see how I will pour out a supernatural grace that empowers you to surpass what you thought possible. Let your heart dwell on these words. I am your refuge in every storm, and you will find that the darkest cloud cannot overshadow the rays of my mercy shining forth in your life. Yes, even now, I am working behind the scenes to weave each trial and triumph into a tapestry of beauty that reflects my glory and your growth. Be at peace, my beloved, and walk ahead with faith, for I have built a hedge of protection around you. Yet understand that my provision transcends mere safety. It extends to the deepest longings of your soul for meaning, acceptance, and wholeness. I bring you under my wing not only to shield you, but also to nurture you in a love that transforms your heart so thoroughly that fear loses its grip. Therefore, come to me with your desires, your ambitions, and even your unformed dreams, for nothing is too small or too grand for my caring gaze, and I yearn to partner with you in unfolding the destiny I have set before you. Picture yourself in a secure place, embraced by the gentleness of my spirit, who whispers words of life over every doubt that tries to take root in your mind. Walk confidently into the days ahead, holding on to my assurance that I will never abandon you, and that I delight in guiding you step by step. Amid the uncertainties that life can hurl at you, do not forget that I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever, a steadfast rock upon which you can build a life of deep faith and enduring hope. If you place your trust in the shifting sands of temporary pleasures or fleeting human approval, you may find yourself adrift when storms arise. Instead, fix your gaze on me and remember the unshakable truth of my word. which stands firm through every age. You need not complicate our relationship with lofty rituals and grand speeches, for I desire your authentic heart, your honest prayers, and your genuine surrender, trusting that my grace covers your imperfections. Indeed, I have called you to a life of fellowship with me, where you can cast your cares upon my shoulders, and I will carry them with a strength that never fails. Today, take a bold step and approach me in prayer, unburdening your heart without fear of judgment or rejection, for I am the Father who rejoices whenever you choose to communicate with me. Tell me about your triumphs, your struggles, your daily concerns, and your hidden fears, for I care about each intricate detail of your life, delighting to know your thoughts. In your moments of prayer, you will discover that my presence washes away anxieties as the morning sun dispels the shadows of night, and in my embrace you will find comfort deeper than words. Do not be convinced by the enemy's lie that you need complex ceremonies or flawless words to be heard, because I am the God who listens even to the faintest cry of the humble. So come, open the door of your heart, and let us commune in a sacred bond that restores hope and increases faith. Recognize, my child, that every time you whisper a plea or lift a hand in desperation, my Spirit is already at work, orchestrating an answer that will arrive in perfect timing, albeit not always in the form you might anticipate. Because my ways are higher than your ways, you may feel confusion at times, but trust that in due season, the clarity you crave will be revealed, and the puzzle pieces will fit into a masterpiece of my design. Do not allow impatience to sway you from the path of perseverance, for in the waiting, your faith is refined and your character is shaped into the image of my Son. Indeed, I am like a master gardener, pruning the branches of your life so that you may bear fruit in abundance, fruit that will last for eternity and testify of my love to those around you. Hold on to my promises, and know that waiting on me is never wasted time, but rather an opportunity to see my power flourish in unexpected ways. And so, with each sunrise, open your eyes to the fresh mercies I lavish upon you, mercies that cleanse the mistakes of yesterday and usher you into a new day with renewed hope. Be assured that I am never weary of loving you, never reluctant to extend my grace, and never hesitant to welcome you with open arms when you seek me wholeheartedly. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep walking forward, for as you do, you will witness that I have indeed prepared a future abundant in blessings, marked by divine encounters and victorious breakthroughs. These present troubles are momentary, and through them I will showcase my faithfulness and reveal the depth of my power to sustain and deliver you. Take heart, for there is a bright horizon awaiting you, and you will emerge from these hardships with a testimony that proclaims my glory. I understand that there are times when you may feel unworthy to even look in my direction, burdened by guilt or regret over past failures or missteps. But let me dispel that shame with a single truth. I, the Lord your God, am full of compassion and abounding in forgiveness. When you confess your sins before me, I am faithful and just to remove them from your record as far as the east is from the west. So do not hold on to chains that I have already broken. My dear child, do not let the memory of old transgressions keep you from the new life I am offering, for I have already paid the price for your redemption, and I bid you to walk in the freedom purchased by my sacrifice. Surrender the remnants of your regret at the foot of my throne, and allow me to cleanse your conscience with the blood of the Lamb, granting you the joy of a clear and hopeful spirit. You are not meant to dwell in shadows when my light is available to guide you into a fresh start. Above all, remember that my love is not dependent on your performance or your ability to check every box, but is rooted in the very essence of who I am, love itself. I yearn for a personal relationship with you, one in which you recognize my voice amid the clamors of the world, and discover that my intentions toward you are for good and not for harm. Though life may bruise your spirit at times, it cannot steal away my devotion. For I hold you as a treasure in the palm of my hand, and the seal of my love over you cannot be undone. Therefore, resist the voices that attempt to convince you that you must earn my favor, and rest securely in the realization that I have loved you from the moment I breathed life into your lungs, and I will love you for all eternity. Let this assurance blanket your heart with tranquility as you continue forward in faith. I encourage you now to lay every anxious thought before me, to breathe out your apprehensions and breathe in my peace, for I am the Prince of Peace who calms the raging waters in your life. Let me carry the weight that you were never meant to shoulder alone, and in turn, I will grant you a peace that surpasses all understanding, one that stands firm against turmoil and adversity. Whenever worry tries to seep back in, remind yourself that I have promised you a rest beyond anything the world can provide, and that my word never fails. Seek my counsel in all your ways, and I will direct your steps along paths that lead to life and blessing. Embrace my rest, my cherished child, and trust that I am more than able to handle everything that concerns you. Now, as you contemplate the future, do not be disheartened by the vast unknown or the seemingly insurmountable obstacles ahead, for I am the God who guides you into the promised land of my goodness. Remember how I led the Israelites through the wilderness with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, ensuring that they would never lose their way. In much the same manner, I will lead you through the uncharted territory of tomorrow, providing signs of my presence and a lamp for your feet so that you need not stumble in the dark. Step forward in faith, knowing that I have already surveyed every bend of the road, and my plans for you are crafted with meticulous care and boundless compassion. If you falter, I will steady you. If you grow weary, I will replenish your soul. And if you are unsure, I will whisper direction that resonates with your innermost being. Can you picture the fullness of life that I envision for you? It is a life free from the chains of shame, a life marked by daily growth in character, love, and righteous desire, all anchored by an unshakable bond with me. I have poured out my Spirit to empower you to do works greater than you could ever accomplish alone, to reflect my heart to a world in need of compassion, and to stand firm in your identity as my beloved. Even now, seeds of transformation are taking root in your heart, seeds that will blossom into acts of grace, kindness, and justice, revealing my glory through your life. So continue to water these seeds with prayer, nourishing them with the light of my word, and watch how they bear fruit that nourishes not only your own soul, but also those around you. Truly, I have set you apart to be a beacon of light, a testament to my saving power and limitless mercy. Therefore, open your eyes to the opportunities I place before you each day to shine forth love and goodness, for these are the stepping stones to the glorious future I have predestined for you. Whether you serve in small, unseen ways or in grand acts of generosity, know that I see your heart, and each faithful deed is a fragrant offering that delights me. The smallest seed of kindness can yield an expansive harvest when multiplied by my touch, so do not doubt the impact you can make as you move in obedience to my promptings. My child, your life is part of a grand tapestry, woven with the threads of my redemption story, and as you step out in faith, you will discover how intricately I weave your circumstances to display my eternal love. Trust in my orchestration, for I will not let your labor of love be in vain. My beloved, do not fear the changes that come with time or the transitions that alter the familiar landscape of your life, for I am the constant in every season, the anchor that holds fast when shifting winds blow. I understand that endings can bring a sense of loss, But each conclusion also signals a beginning in my grand design, a chance to experience a new dimension of my faithfulness. Just as a seed must break open for life to emerge, sometimes you must let go of old ways so that new growth can flourish, free from the restrictions of the past. Embrace these changes, for my hand is at work, shaping you through every season into the perfected masterpiece that I envisioned before the dawn of creation. And as you press on, remember that I walk beside you, and I, your heavenly Father, will never allow you to journey alone. When you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to quiet your heart and breathe in the reality that I am nearer to you than the very air you draw in. In that stillness, let me speak to your spirit words of affirmation and promise, reminding you that you are cherished far more deeply than you could ever comprehend. A simple moment of genuine connection with me can invigorate your soul to face the demands of your day with renewed vigor and clarity of purpose. Rather than trying to solve every issue by yourself, bring them all to my throne of grace and watch as I transform your confusion into order and your worry into trust. Yes, you will stumble at times, but take heart, for I am here to lift you up and set you on your feet once again, each time stronger than before. Remember as well that I have placed relationships in your life as conduits of my love and encouragement, so do not isolate yourself in times of hardship. Lean on the community I have provided for you, friends, family, fellow believers, who can speak life into your weary soul and remind you of my faithfulness. I work through people as my hands and feet, so never underestimate how profoundly I can minister to you through a kind word or a warm embrace from someone who cares. Likewise, be open to being that vessel of grace for others, for in serving them, you mirror my heart and multiply the blessings you receive. Walk in unity and forgiveness, seeking to promote peace wherever you go, for by doing so, you embody my message of reconciliation and reveal the beauty of my kingdom. I am intimately aware that you have encountered moments of disillusionment or disappointment, perhaps where your expectations were left unfulfilled, or where people you trusted caused you pain. Yet I invite you, even in your disappointment, to cling to me, for I will never betray your trust or abandon you in your vulnerability. Allow my word to mend the wounds left by betrayal, and let my spirit infuse hope back into the vacant spaces of your heart. Healing may require patience, and scars often remind you of past battles, but they also testify to the power of survival and restoration. I assure you that there is no valley so deep that my love cannot find you, no sorrow so profound that my comfort cannot soothe, and no betrayal so bitter that my redemption cannot bring forth new beginnings. Yes, dear one, I am the Lord who heals you. Reflect on my faithfulness in the past, recalling times when you felt cornered or oppressed, and remember how I led you through the shadows into the light, never leaving you helpless or stranded. Rehearsing my past deliverances stirs your faith for present and future triumphs, reinforcing the truth that I am a God who keeps promises and a Father who never forsakes his children. Do not let the memory of difficulties overshadow the memory of my sustaining grace. Instead, let each victory become a stepping stone to greater trust in my continued provision. The same power that raised my son from the grave is at work in you, empowering you to rise above any challenge and to conquer every obstacle by my might. Stand rooted in this unwavering truth and watch as your fears recede in the presence of my majesty. In moments of reflection, consider too the joys and blessings you have received by my hand, for a heart of gratitude opens the door to deeper intimacy with me and heightens your awareness of my involvement in every facet of your life. I am the giver of every good and perfect gift, and I delight in seeing your spirit lifted by gratitude, for it aligns your perspective with the abundance I have in store for you. Gratitude transforms your outlook, enabling you to perceive my fingerprints in both the quiet wonders and the grand miracles that grace your path each day. Rejoice in simple pleasures, a sunrise painting the sky, a warm meal shared with loved ones, a gentle laughter that bubbles from the core of your being, and recognize that each one is a testament to my kindness. Yes, my dear child, you have reason to be hopeful and to anticipate the unveiling of even greater blessings. Now, as you continue through these chapters of your life, be mindful of the call I place upon you, a call to shine my light, to uphold the weak, to speak words of kindness and truth, and to be a vessel of my grace among those yearning for a glimpse of hope. You may feel inadequate at times, but know this: I equip those I call, and I supply the resources and wisdom needed to carry out my purpose. Keep a watchful eye for the divine appointments I orchestrate, for my plans are often fulfilled through the willing acts of humble servants who do not shy away from seemingly small gestures of compassion. Yes, your story is woven into a greater narrative that I am unfolding across the earth, uniting my children in a tapestry of redemption that showcases love's power to triumph over darkness. And in every role you play, you mirror my image to a world that thirsts for true life. As the days pass and seasons change, let not your heart grow weary or cynical, for my spirit breathes new life into those who wait upon me, renewing your strength to soar like eagles, run without growing weary, and walk without fainting. Know that your present hardships do not define your destiny, and your future is not confined by your past. Gently release the burdens of yesterday, opening your hands to receive the new grace I pour out each dawn. For by my grace, you are made new, forged through the trials into a resilient soul that radiates my glory. Walk forward with a holy confidence that transcends human understanding, a confidence rooted in the knowledge that I am at work in your life for good and not for calamity. Indeed, my child, my plans for you are so intricately beautiful, and they outshine any short-lived triumphs the world can offer. In every high point, in every low moment, in every mundane interval in between, I am still God, and I remain deeply involved in the narrative of your life. The laughter you share with loved ones reflects my joy. The tears you shed in secret are collected by my mercy, and the prayers you utter echo through heaven's corridors, never once falling on deaf ears. You are seen, heard, and understood more profoundly than you could ever fathom, and I yearn for you to rest in the assurance that you dwell under the shadow of my wings. Permit me to shape your story with the skillful hand of the master author, who weaves triumph out of tribulation, forging testimonies that inspire faith for generations to come. Embrace this reality, my precious one, and you will find that every moment, whether stormy or serene, becomes an opportunity to encounter my unwavering presence. As we near the close of this moment of communion, anchor your heart once more to the unwavering truth of my immeasurable love for you, a love that surpasses all human understanding. I am not distant, aloof, or indifferent to your plight. I am your Father, your Redeemer, your Comforter, and your friend, forever devoted to carrying you through each chapter of life's journey. My affection does not wane when you falter, nor does it skyrocket when you succeed, for it is steadfast and unconditional, rooted in my unchanging nature. Take solace in this promise, and let your worries dissolve like mist in the morning sun, replaced by a serene confidence that I am in control. And in your moments of greatest vulnerability, lean on my heart, for I am your refuge and your fortress, the ever-present help in times of need. Now let my blessing rest upon you and your loved ones, covering you with my peace that flows like a gentle river, refreshing your spirit and nourishing your soul. Let my favor guide you in the decisions you must make, clearing away confusion and releasing clarity that guides you along straight paths. May you find renewed vision and passion for the days ahead, believing with all your heart that I am working everything out for your good and my glory. Yes, step forward, my child, into the future I have crafted, for it overflows with promise, and I have gone before you to prepare each day, each encounter, each blessing. Walk on, filled with my peace and empowered by my Spirit, for the very best is yet to come, and I, the Lord your God, stand ready to fulfill every word of hope that I have spoken into your life. My beloved child, do not let your heart be troubled by the unknown, for I stand as your banner of victory, proclaiming that your battles are not fought alone, but with the power of my Holy Spirit moving on your behalf. Even in times where you feel too weary to lift your head, I will uphold you, breathing renewed vigor into your soul and reminding you that you are more than a conqueror through the love I have lavished upon you. Do not allow fear to hold you captive, because I have already shattered the chains of defeat by my triumph on the cross. And I invite you to rise up in the authority I have given you as my child. Though enemies may surround you, my rod and my staff will comfort you, and I will prepare a table before you, even in the presence of those who seek your downfall, turning what was meant for harm into an opportunity for you to witness my deliverance. Keep your eyes on the horizon of my promises, for I am the same God who led David against Goliath and caused walls to crumble at the sound of praise. And I will do mighty things in your life that surpass the limits of your imagination. Hold on to the truth that every tear you have shed is precious in my sight, and not a single cry for help goes unnoticed, for I am the one who formed your heart and knows how deeply it can ache. In those moments when sorrow seems to eclipse your joy, rest in me, and I will exchange your heaviness for a garment of praise, singing over you with melodies of healing. Feel no shame in your tears, because they water the seeds of faith within you, preparing the soil of your heart to blossom into renewed hope and steadfast trust. I am near to the brokenhearted, and I am binding up your wounds with my gentle hands, breathing new life into the places that feel desolate. Step forward confidently, knowing that even your darkest nights cannot prevail against the sunrise of my unfailing mercy. Every step you take in faith draws you closer to the fullness of the calling I have placed upon you, a calling that resonates with the echo of eternal significance. Let not the voices of doubt or the accusations of the enemy detour you from the path I have illuminated for you, for my lamp reveals a way teeming with purpose and possibility. You may not see the entire tapestry I am weaving, but trust that each thread contributes to a grand design, a masterpiece reflecting my glory and your growth. My beloved, you have been fearfully and wonderfully made to fulfill a destiny that extends far beyond the boundaries of your own perceptions, and I rejoice to watch you flourish in the center of my will. Embrace your uniqueness, and never doubt that I have equipped you with every spiritual blessing necessary to conquer the giants that rise against you. Stand firm in the knowledge that when you call upon my name, you summon the unstoppable force of divine intervention, releasing grace that meets you in your need. Even when circumstances seem unchangeable or voices insist that it is too late, I specialize in overturning impossibilities, and nothing is beyond my reach. Look to the stories of old, Abraham, Sarah, Moses, and the countless others I guided through barren deserts and impossible seas. Do you not see my fingerprint of miracles etched in their journeys? In the same way, I am orchestrating a miraculous narrative in your life, strengthening your faith so that you can walk where the world deems there is no path. Fear not, my child, for my arm is never too short to save, and my promise is never too weak to endure. At times, you may feel as though you are waiting at the threshold of a breakthrough that never seems to come. But I encourage you to lift your gaze beyond the horizon of delay and look upon me, the author of time. Seasons of waiting are not punishments, but rather invitations to deeper intimacy with me. Moments when you can learn to trust me more than your immediate understanding. Do not rush or grow impatient in this delicate process, for the fruit that matures slowly carries a richer flavor than that which is hastily plucked. In the hush of waiting, your heart becomes more sensitive to my voice, better able to discern the subtleties of my leading, and prepared to steward the blessings that await you. Yes, my timing may sometimes feel inscrutable, but know that it is always perfect, and the fulfillment of my word in your life will come at precisely the right moment. When your heart wavers and questions arise within your soul, remember that it is okay to bring these uncertainties before me. I am not offended by your honest fears or your desperate inquiries, for I desire an authentic relationship with you that transcends hollow formalities. Like a loving parent, I long to reassure you when you doubt, to comfort you when you hurt, and to strengthen you when you feel faint. Do not hide from me. Instead, pour out your heart, for I am a safe refuge, unwavering and compassionate, patient and kind. In bringing your worries to me, you will discover an exchange of burdens, as I replace your human anxieties with my divine peace, a peace the world cannot replicate nor fathom. Cultivate a heart of gratitude, even in the small victories, for each milestone along your journey is a reminder of my abiding grace. Celebrate the moments of progress, a quiet morning devotion that rejuvenates your spirit, a reconciling conversation that mends a broken relationship, a sudden burst of joy in the midst of chaos. These are not coincidences but reflections of my faithful love, gently guiding you toward the destiny I have in store. When gratitude saturates your perspective, you become acutely aware of the abundant goodness that surrounds you, even in a world fraught with trials. By choosing to see my hand in every facet of your life, you set your gaze on the wonders of my works, inspiring you to worship with sincerity and to trust in my sovereign plan. Set your affections on eternal treasures that outlast the fleeting glories of this life, for where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Remember that the pursuit of earthly accolades, possessions, or superficial approval pales in comparison to the surpassing worth of knowing me intimately. As you engage with the world, do so with a heart anchored in my truth, refusing to be swayed by passing trends or enticed by desires that lead to empty ends. Instead, invest your time in love and compassion, pour out kindness in the name of my Son, and you will store up for yourself treasures that neither rust nor decay. Know that my kingdom is not limited to faraway realms, but is actively spreading through every act of selflessness and faith that you exhibit, reaching hearts that yearn for a glimpse of heaven on earth. My child, I have entrusted you with gifts, talents, and passions meant to glorify me and enrich the lives of those around you. So do not hide these talents under a veil of fear or insecurity. Rather, step forward with boldness, allowing my Spirit to breathe upon your abilities, that they might be transformed into channels of blessings. When you stand with confidence in the identity I have bestowed upon you, no voice of discouragement can silence the calling I have placed on your life. Yes, at times you may stumble, but even in those missteps, I am there, ready to pick you up and encourage you onward. Never forget that my strength is made perfect in your weakness, illuminating my grace in ways that exceed your limitations and bring glory to my name. Do not be dismayed if you find yourself in a wilderness season, for it is in these barren stretches that my presence can become most palpable, stripping away distractions and teaching you the reliance that fosters unwavering faith. Recall how my people wandered in the desert, yet every day they witnessed my provision through manna from heaven, a testimony that I will sustain you even when your surroundings seem lifeless. In the wilderness, you learn to depend on me alone, and in that dependence, you discover a faith that can move mountains and an endurance that prevails through storms. Keep your eyes fixed on the promise of the land flowing with milk and honey, For even in the desert, I am orchestrating your journey toward a place of blessing. Trust that every detour is under my sovereign guidance, leading you toward a deeper revelation of who I am. Seek fellowship with others who share your faith, for I have designed you to thrive within a community bound by my love. Mutual encouragement, prayerful support, and the bearing of each other's burdens strengthen the bonds that unite my children, reflecting the unity of the body of Christ. Do not isolate yourself under the weight of shame or the lie that you must handle life's struggles alone, for I have provided the church, your spiritual family, to walk alongside you. In relationships rooted in my love, you will find gentle correction, heartfelt celebration, and the shared joy of testimonies that arise from steadfast prayer. Together, you will be like a city on a hill, radiant with the light of my presence, an undeniable witness to the power of love in a fractured world. And when trials come, which they inevitably will, stand upon my promises as your firm foundation. For winds and waves have no power to topple a house built on the rock of ages. Let your response to adversity be a steadfast declaration of my word, recalling every vow I have made to protect, provide, and uphold you. Though you may be tested, these trials will refine your faith, removing the dross of self-reliance and revealing the gleaming gold of a heart wholly devoted to me. I promise never to waste a single tear you shed in adversity, but to transform even your pain into a testimony of resilience, shaping you into a beacon of hope for others walking similar paths. Yes, my precious one, you will see that all things truly work together for your good and for my glory, if only you remain faithful to my voice. So, take courage, for I am calling you to place every ounce of your trust in me, refusing to be led astray by anxiety or succumb to the illusions of self-sufficiency. Surrendering does not signify defeat, but rather a profound recognition that I am your ultimate source of strength and wisdom, and I will guide you through every uncertainty. As you relinquish your need to control each detail, you will discover the liberating joy of resting in my sovereignty, assured that I see the end from the beginning and orchestrate every season for your growth. Rejoice in the knowledge that I carefully lead you through valleys and across mountains, all to draw you closer to my heart, preparing you for the destiny that only I can fully comprehend. Yes, my child, in that abandonment to my care, you will find the freedom your soul craves. Let your heart brim with expectant faith, for I have a storehouse of blessings ready to be poured out upon you in due time, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. While the world may measure success by fleeting standards, I measure it by the enlargement of your spirit, the depth of your compassion, and your willingness to walk in obedient trust. The seeds you sow in tears will eventually reap a harvest of joy, and the sacrifices you make on behalf of love will yield eternal dividends. Keep planting, keep believing, keep holding fast to my promises, for I am not a man that I should lie, and if I have spoken blessing over your life, it shall come to pass. Look with anticipation for the day when all you have hoped for and more manifests in ways that glorify me and bring abundance to your soul. Place your hand in mine and let me lead you toward the future I have carefully prepared, a future bathed in my grace and secured by my unfailing word. Though the path may at times feel steep or lonely, remember that I am the companion who never leaves, the faithful shepherd who guides you toward verdant pastures and refreshing streams. Let me quiet your racing thoughts with my assurance that you are held in the palm of my hand, safe and cherished beyond measure. Let your faith rise up to silence the doubts that attempt to whisper defeat in your ear, for those doubts vanish in the shining presence of my unwavering truth. Step with confidence, my precious one, for your journey is not aimless, nor is it in vain, and the footsteps you take in faith will lead you straight into the unfolding majesty of my plans. Yes, you are loved, you are chosen, you are shielded, and you are destined for more than your eyes can see or your mind can conceive. Let this promise be your anchor in the storms and your song in the night. I will never abandon you, I will never shame you, and I will never fail to accomplish what I have begun. You are my beloved creation, and my purposes for you shine as brightly as the dawn of a new day, casting out every lingering shadow of doubt. Press on, therefore, with a peace that surpasses all logic, with an assurance that flows from the depths of my heart to yours. For truly, I declare, the best is yet to come. And my child, you will stand in wonder at the marvels I will perform in your life. Now, as you take these words to heart, never forget that I, the Lord your God, have inscribed your name upon my palms, and every moment of your life remains under my watchful care. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and my love for you is unchanging, despite the rises and falls you may encounter on this earthly journey. Gaze confidently toward the horizon, for I am preparing you for an eternity of fellowship in my glorious presence, a realm where tears and sorrows have no place, and where my radiance fills every longing of your soul. Until that day, walk forward in the calm assurance of one who is deeply treasured and unceasingly guided by the one who holds all things together, and know with every breath that the best is still ahead, for my promises stand firm, and my grace is enough. Yes, my beloved child, your story is bathed in the light of my everlasting devotion, and in that radiant truth, you will always find hope.